Oh. So, well, fuck. This is the outro screen. Well, let's switch really quickly. No, actually, the wrong one. This is the intro screen. So, yeah, this one's gonna be about how to eat healthy on a budget, on a really tight budget, because this is somehow what I'm good at, to be honest. I'm relatively good at saving my money, but not spending it. I'm the worst person spending it. It's just insane. I can't spend my fucking money. But yeah, this is what this episode is all about. See you after the intro. Oh, God. Yeah. With that being said, hello and welcome back to the next episode of the Self-Development with Tactics fucking podcast. I'm pretty pumped to be here, as not quite always, it really depends on how I think about what I'm doing here. It is really like, okay, if I think about just doing what I like to do rather than just doing something that I just have to do because it got somehow an obligation for me, then it really feels different. It really truly feels different. But yeah, as I've already said in the intro, we are going ahead with, or we are actually talking about how to eat healthy on a budget, on a relatively tight budget, I have to say, because something that I just in general do. Like, I'm not spending my money on anything than food, actually, or anything but food. Pretty funny, really pretty funny, and it then really fucks with me if I do just have to spend my money on things that is not food. Like, food is not the only thing that food is the only thing that I need. Like, it's really about the things that you need now. It's not about the things that you want to have. It's really about the things you need. And, well, yeah, I think food and something to drink and so on is, well, something that you need. And, I don't know, other shit like electronics and whatever it is, cars, these are things that you just want to have. Sometimes you need them as well. Like, it totally comes up to where you're living and whatsoever. But yeah, I think you know what I mean. Therefore, I've just found a quick little, well, it is actually not a quick little, it is actually a relatively long, relatively long article from healthline.com. In general, I would say that healthline.com is pretty much a good website. They always just try to give you references and or the sources where they've got the information from. And they also claim to have just scientists and nutritionists and whatsoever. So they seem to know what they're talking about, But I have to emphasize that they seem to know, because I don't know. Like, I'm not going to look at the sources, the references whatsoever. I'm just going to go through it and just give my shit to it. They're basically talking about a lot of things, as you can see while I'm scrolling through there. They're just talking about a lot of things that are pretty obvious, but still I think I should address them, because sometimes it's actually the really obvious things, as I've been just talking about it, I think, way too often. Often it's actually the case that these obvious things are just also those that you do forget, and don't think about. Actually, not always. So yeah. So yeah, this is what we're doing today. And I can't talk. And this is amazing. On a podcast where you can't talk, it's the nicest fucking experience you can have, I guess. But yeah, I think I'll just read or start to read. So 19 clever ways to eat healthy on a tight budget. And if you want to read this article on your own, probably because I am not able to finish it or whatsoever, then there's going to be the link down in the description if you're on the YouTube video. If you're on the podcast, it should be down in the show notes, or whatever it is actually called. All the people just refer to it as the show notes. I would say, like, okay, description as well, just because it's actually the same like in the YouTube video or from the YouTube video. But yeah. So this is written by Ada Bjarnadottir. She seems to be a Master of Science. Is it Master? Or is it? No, it's a Master of Science. And it is from June the 3rd, 2017. So it is already 2 years old, which is okay. Which is really okay. So healthy food can be expensive. It really can. It really can be fucking expensive. Therefore, it can be difficult to eat well when you're on a tight budget. However, there are many ways to save money and still eat whole, single ingredient foods. Here are 19 clever tips that can help you eat healthy on a budget. I do also have to say, just before I'm actually starting to read there, as I've said, there are just a lot of obvious things. And these obvious things just often include things that are like not really correlated to the food that you're buying and actually just giving you tips on what food you should be buying, but rather things like, okay, how you could save money so that you can afford the food actually, I guess. Because it's, in the end, it is really like what you're spending your money on. It really depends on that. It is not really about how money you make or how much money you make whatsoever. It is just really about how much money you spend and or where you spend it, if you just spend it smart and whatsoever. In the end, it is really about spending money rather than just earning money. One of the examples that I always just come up with is, okay, if there's a guy and or a girl, could definitely be the case. Let's say a girl, because I want to have the girls there. If it's a girl earning 100k a year, which is definitely okay, I would say, or definitely pretty good. And the thing is, often when I'm just seeing like, okay, Gary Vee just talking about earnings and whatsoever and or income, and he's like, okay, he was only making 100k a year or 120k a year. Yeah, okay, it might be relatively just low, just in terms of how much money he actually makes. But the thing is, 120k is a fucking load. Like, it is a lot. It really is. The thing is, like, in Austria, where I'm living, it is basically like, I don't know, like people make 50k a year. And it's totally fine, and they can totally live, and there's no problem doing that. And there's no problem living then. Like, you're not just dying. Like, everything is okay. You're even just, I don't know, when you're earning 50k, which is, what's 50 divided by 12? Because I'm not maths, which is 4k a fucking month. It is definitely okay. We pay, I don't know, what would it be? Well, if you do just have a big flat and whatsoever, I think you're gonna pay 2k or something. It definitely depends on where you're living. If you're living in Vienna, of course, there's gonna be a little bit more expensive. Even though the thing is, in my area, in my district at the time, are the highest real estate prices we have in Austria, which is fucking insane. Just I don't know because of what. I really don't know. But the thing is, it is insane. It's just really fucking expensive compared to New York. I can't talk, as I said. Compared to New York, it is really like nothing. It is completely nothing. Like in New York, you just pay, I don't know, 2k for just a really small ass motherfucking piece of shit flat. Where you can actually, you can put a bed there and a fridge, and that's fucking it. I assume, at least, I don't know, but I've heard that prices are just incredibly high, and I've also seen that prices are incredibly high, which is just really insane. But, I can understand it. It's a great city, or I assume it is a great city, or a high in demand city. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna start without losing any time. Plan your meals, which is the first one. When it comes to saving money at the grocery store, planning is essential. Use one day each week to plan your meals for the upcoming week. Then make a grocery list of what you need. Also, make sure to scan your fridge and cabinets to see what you already have. There are usually a lot of foods hidden in the bag that can be used. Really is the case. Like, I think especially in the cabinet, there is often just some food that you kind of left there or you forgot about or whatsoever. And then actually how do you actually say that? When something is like in such a condition that you can't eat it, you know what I mean. It's just then really fucked up if you just, let it come to the point where you can't eat the food any longer just because it is expired. Yeah, it is expired. Not good, especially if you're on a really fucking tight budget. It's like, yeah, it is like death. Maybe not as severe, but nearly as. The thing is, it really is kind of fucked up then. Therefore just scanning, as they say, scanning your fucking cabinet and the fridge might be one of the good ideas, one of the best ideas there. So only plan to purchase what you're going to use so that you don't end up throwing away a lot of what you buy. Actually pretty important, especially important with relatively expensive things like I don't know, I think vegetables and fruits, like, well, even though they're not too expensive, I have to say, at least not in my country or at my place, it is not too expensive, but still, they cost something. And like, it is still too much, if you're on a really tight budget and you can't afford quite anything, then it is really too much, then you really just have to look, you really have to look for those things and make sure that you don't basically lose or let expire a lot of foods. Sometimes it happens, and I think it is actually not okay because I hate throwing away food, but sometimes it is just what it is, I guess. The bottom line there is plan your meals for the week and make a grocery list. Only buy what you're sure you will use, and check out what you already have in your cupboards first. The second one is stick to your grocery list. And this one's going to be just fairly, straightforward, I think. I assume. I don't know. I assume. The thing is, often it is actually the case, especially when you're hungry and you're going to the grocery shop and buying some groceries, kind of obviously. Then you're buying some shit that you actually do not need just because you're hungry and whatsoever, and you're not sticking to your grocery list and whatsoever. Really important, because in the end you're basically buying things that you actually do not need, which is unnecessary, especially as I've been kind of repeating this fucking episode 100 times, if you're on a tight budget. Like, it's not so good, but it is obvious, it is really obvious, but still want to point it out. I think I'm not even gonna bother to go through it. Maybe I'm gonna read the bottom line. Yeah. So stick to your grocery list when you're shopping. Shop the perimeter of the store first, as this is where the whole foods are generally located. And as I pointed out there as well, additionally, there are now many great grocery lists apps to help you shop. Some of them can even save favorite items or share lists between multiple shoppers. Sounds great, but you could also just write something down, make a photo of it, and just send it to this person. But yeah, convenience. I understand it. I really understand it. The third one is also so fucking obvious, which is cook at home. I'm gonna read the bottom line there as well, just because, cooking at home is way less expensive than eating out. Obviously, some find it best to cook for the entire week on weekends, while others like to cook one meal at a time. And that's just, I thought, as I went through the whole article to see if there's something in it that I can actually use, and or if there's something valuable in it, I thought, what person am I? Would I rather cook for the whole entire week, or would I just cook every single day? The thing there is, if you're cooking a new meal every single day, you're just basically, theoretically, potentially losing a lot of time, which is the worst part about it, I guess. The good part about it is, and I think the best part about it is, that you do just, you're not eating the exact same shit the whole entire week long, which might be boring you a little bit, just especially to the end of the week. It's not gonna be so nice, I assume. If you're on a tight budget, I guess, you can't do anything about it then. Just because, having a meal for the whole entire week, first of all, saves a lot of time, which maybe gives you way more time to work then, which gives you more money, which basically then somehow saves you money to some degree, if you want to say it like this. But also, if you're preparing a meal that is actually just high in everything you need, which is, high in vitamins, low in just, sugar and all the other shit that you should not be eating and whatsoever, then you kind of ensure that you're always going to eat relatively healthy or actually healthy the whole entire week long, which is pretty great, because sometimes I feel you're not going to eat the thing that you wanted to cook, you're just eating something different, or maybe you're not going to eat anything just because you think no, I do not want to cook or something like this. Could happen, could really fucking happen. Therefore, I don't know. I think it just really comes up to what you prefer to do. Some people definitely prefer to cook for the whole entire week. I understand this, it saves time, as I said. It is, I think, the other thing is that I've just left out is that you're able to buy things in bulk, which is amazing. If you're just cooking for 1 week, and maybe there is some rice involved in it, then you're gonna buy just a really big fucking sack of rice. or bag of rice, not sack, bag of rice. And then it's going to be cheaper as well. Like, I think, well, yeah, I think bottom line is actually that cooking for the whole entire week is a little bit cheaper, I would say. I would really say so. I don't know if it's really the case, and I don't know if it's that practical just because, like, okay, eating the exact same shit every single day might really fuck with you. But yeah, it is about just being cheap, it is about being on a budget, and it is really not about just having the best and tastiest food there is, I guess. Still, I do also have to say, just eating something that you do not like for one entire week might also not be the best thing, the best thing in terms of your overall well-being. Like, I think you're not gonna feel so well if you're eating something every single day that you actually do not like, Nah, not so good. Not so good. But yeah, let's see. The fourth one is cook large portions and use your leftovers. I'm gonna read this because I don't know where they're heading towards. Yeah. So cooking large meals can save you both time and money. Leftovers can be used for lunches in other recipes or frozen in single portion sizes to be enjoyed later on. And there it is, I think, also very important to not forget about them, because sometimes, even though they are frozen and whatsoever, they can still expire as far as I know. Some things, meat, for example, I think is just a little bit dangerous. Like, I wouldn't eat a meat that is, 2 years old or something. I guess, well, yeah, I think it also wouldn't taste that well, first of all. But, yeah. So leftovers usually make very good stews, stir fries, salads and burritos. These types of food are especially great for people on a budget. Bottom line, cook large meals for inexpensive ingredients and use your leftovers during the following days. The fifth one is don't stop when you're hungry. Don't stop when you're hungry. I just thought, like, okay, do they want to let me die or something? Well, the fifth one is don't shop when you are hungry. I've been talking about it before. Like, of course you're going to buy more. Of course you're going to buy shit that you're just feeling like you need, or you just want to eat right now just because you're hungry at the time or whatsoever. So just, the bottom line of it actually is, do not go shopping when you're hungry. Not good. Buy whole foods. Some foods are way cheaper in less processed form. For example, a block of cheese is cheaper than shredded cheese, and canned beans are cheaper than refried ones. Whole grains like brown rice and oats are also cheaper per serving than most processed cereals. Definitely. The thing is, I do just really have to say that oats are one of the just most incredible foods that I've ever discovered, I have to say. And like, I'm always searching for the best, especially when I'm in school. Like, I'm normally just in school the whole day long, and I'm coming home at 8 p.m. or something, and I obviously then have to eat my lunch in school. We do just have a cafeteria, cafeteria. Yeah, I think it's cafeteria. I don't know. Pronunciation is a little off. I'm sorry. No, but the thing is, they're just way too expensive. Yeah, of course I get my warm food and whatsoever, which is something that you also need. Like, I would totally suggest one warm meal a day is first of all enough, and it's first of all just what you need. At least at my point of view. I think I've read it somewhere in a book or something, probably, but I guess, I don't know. It just really also depends on how you feel when you're not having a warm meal. Some people feel bad then. Some people just feel like not as energetic as they could the next or the following day. But yeah, as I said, it really comes up to how you feel about it. The thing is, I'm not going to go to the cafeteria. I'm just going to buy the shit from some grocery stores that are around my school. The thing there is, I could also just, bring food with me. Which is actually the cheapest of them all, just because, we have food at home. The thing there is, often I'm, first of all, too lazy, which is actually convenience. Like, I'm thinking, like, okay, I'm gonna buy my food just in school. It is way more convenient and whatsoever. Not a good mindset, to actually save a lot of money. I could have saved 40 fucking bucks a week. Well, not a week, but a month. Because I'm normally spending around $10 a week for my food, which is actually 4 days of eating, which is actually, it sounds to be a little bit too much. 10 divided by 4. Yeah, somehow 2.5 bucks a day. The thing is, other people spend way more. This, saying something like this is first of all just pretty shit, because it is really not about other people. Like, it is really about just being the best version of yourself. It's not about comparing yourself to anybody else. Some people might just, I don't know, kind of spend 10 bucks a day for their fucking food just because they think food is very important for them. And if food isn't just the most important thing for you, not necessarily if it is just the case, but also just because you don't have as much money as they have, then of course you're going to live on a budget. It is what it is. There's nothing to be or nothing to do about it in certain periods of time. But the thing is, some people are going to just spend more, some people are going to spend less. I'm trying to actually spend less than $2. Sometimes I'm actually not doing it. Sometimes I'm actually like 2.5. 3 is really rare, a really rare occasion actually, because I really try to live on a budget. It's just insane. Sometimes I even feel a little bit stupid for doing that, just because it is really not like I do not have money. And I'm also not saying this just to kind of feel cool or whatsoever. It's like I do not want to spend my money or spend too much of my money. It is really like I'm saving the shit of my money. It's just insane. Sometimes I really feel stupid about it just because I don't spend any money on anything. I even feel incredibly bad for spending money on some things, especially if it's about, I don't know, just getting a new haircut or something like this, which is just so kind of necessary, I believe, at least. I don't need a new haircut. It is totally okay if I get a new haircut every, 6 months or so. I'm gonna look shit in the end, but, I don't care. But yeah, it is what it is. It really depends on how you think about things, situations, life, food, cars, if you have a car. It really depends. It just totally fucking depends. But yeah, so buy whole foods. But what I actually wanted to say originally was that oats are incredibly cheap, I have to say. They just fill you up like shit, and they're good, I have to say. Some oats with raisins, and that's it. Some water, and you're good to go. You're really good to go. It tastes good. You get a lot of protein, to be honest. You get good fats, of course, carbohydrates. You basically get everything. Let's actually see, because I've actually thought about something. No. Have I closed it? No, I haven't. Just a second, please. A really quick second. Notice my desktop. There it is. I don't know if you can see that well. I hope you can. I think you can. But here, I've been searching for a website where I can actually compare some food prices, just because I was really interested in them, to see okay, what is costing what, how much is this, how much is that, just those kind of things. Because I thought okay, if I'm talking about living on a budget, I'm gonna just do it the right way. One of the first things that I actually looked up, as you can see up there, is lentils. I've misspelled it probably. No, have I? No, I haven't even. The thing is, these are pound prices, which means UK prices, and or is Australia as well, or do they have a dollar? I don't actually know. The thing is, there are the pound prices or the UK prices, but what you can see there, and the funny thing is that those prices and or those foods or those lentils, to be kind of frank, they are way cheaper than at my place. It is really just incredibly cheap. Let's, for example, take the 1 kilo version. They cost 2.25 pounds. Well, actually, is there a bigger one than a kilo? No. Maybe take some. Well, the 1-star review just really kind of fucks with me, to be honest. So let's take something else. Yeah, really, let's take something else. So, East End Red Split lentils, and I don't know if East End is actually a brand or something. I would totally suggest in general that you're not buying any branded fucking shit. just because it is expensive. It is really expensive. And, if you're living on a really tight budget, again, if you don't know by now, you're just gonna do it. Then I think it is not the best thing to actually. Well, I can. Oh, I didn't see. What about Lidl? Let's see what. That's fucking insane. You're gonna buy those split lentils, 500 grams for 69 pennies. I guess p is pennies. I don't actually know. It's just insane. The last lentils I bought were actually also some red lentils. The thing with those fucking red lentils was, I just paid, I think, $2 or something, so €2, which is 2.22 US dollars. I guess it was even, I think, 2.5 or something. Yeah, which is somehow $3, US. But yeah, Lidl is actually the cheapest one. It's insane. It is really insane, especially because lentils are really, really fucking healthy. They, as you can see, are relatively cheap. Then you're gonna just get filled up by them, so you're not gonna stay hungry for a long time after you've eaten them. They actually just expand their appearance and or expand their volume when you're cooking them, just because they soak up all the fucking water. They are great, they're just great. And there's also a lot of protein in them, which is just the reason why I actually bought them. Let's also look up rice, because rice is also one of the things that is relatively cheap. The thing is, what I forgot to mention is, in school, I normally always buy myself some lentils and just pay 39 cents. Is it 39 cents? I think it's actually 39 cents. And 39 cents is... Can I tell you? 0.039 euros is around 40 US dollars. Not 40 US dollars, but 0.40 US dollars, which is, I think, pretty great. And then I'm just buying myself some whole. It is not whole wheat, Let me look this up, because I don't know what it is called in English. I don't know. Rye or rye. So bread out of rye. So the farmer grows barley and rye. And I normally have some whole rye bread, which is actually only costing 75 cents, which is 0.75 euros, which is $0.83, which is, I think, pretty great. It is really great, which combined makes around 125, 129 euros. And that's my fucking meal. And I'm, the thing actually is as well, I'm not hungry after I've eaten it. It's just really great. It really is great. But let's actually look up the rice, because rice is also one of the things that is pretty great, because it's filling you up. But you're not gonna buy the fucking Uncle Ben shit. You're gonna buy just some Golden Sun. What the fuck? Well, 250 gram isn't that much. Well, you're gonna buy not premium as well. Well, the long grain is actually even brown rice. Fucking hell. It's just amazing. Of course, the basmati is gonna be the most expensive one. I think it's also the best one, actually. But yeah, let's actually take the 89 pennies Golden Sun long grain brown rice easy cook. What the fuck? It has everything. It has everything. Every kind of technology implemented into this singular grain of rice. And you're not also gonna buy just some pre-made food, I guess. Even though it just really sounds to be just relatively cheap, to be honest, 90 cents for half a kilo. Actually pretty well. Really well. I, by the way, hope that the prices are okay and all the prices are actually right. But I would say you're gonna go to the cheapest fucking place there is. The thing there is, I do not think that Aldi is gonna be in the United States. Therefore, is Poundland Fondant seems like bulking. Yeah, it is. Rice pudding. I don't know what even Prowse pudding is. The fuck? Good. But what? Or is there a co-op or pound stretcher? Pound stretcher also sounds like really fucking cheap. Well, no, it is not actually. It's okay. But one of the other things, let's actually look up bread, because I think bread is one of the things that is actually a little bit on the more expensive side. Unfortunately, to be honest, just because bread is actually pretty nice also to eat it, and you're not gonna buy just some white fucking bread. You're gonna buy some whole wheat motherfucker or multi-grain or whatever it is. The funny thing is, we in Austria actually have so-called black bread, just translated like, like Google Translator would translate it. The thing is, I think in English-speaking countries in general, there is no black bread or just rye bread. Is there some? Or rye, whatever it is. I don't fucking know. Rye. Can't I just look up every market there? Just be nice. Is there even some whole grain rye bread? Yeah. It is actually the exact same shit that I'm buying. Isn't it? I think it is. No, to be really honest, I think it is. It's actually, well, it's not the same package or something. The price is somehow identical with 1.10. No, yeah, it is basically the thing that I'm eating. Yeah, baked in Germany, thank you. No, it is really the exact same thing that I'm eating. It is very rich in fibers. Also, you're gonna stay pretty filled from it and whatsoever. There's no added sugar and there's no added shit. Something that you should also just look for. The thing there is, it is pretty cheap, it is healthy, but it doesn't have too much calories or too many calories, to be honest, which might be a little bit of a problem for you if you're trying to, if you're trying to bulk and if you're trying to just, stay really filled over just a really, 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 really long period of time. I guess then it's going to be a little bit, it's going to be a little bit, how should I say, difficult, yeah. Let's actually look up another one, just because it is actually pretty fun doing this, to be quite honest. Let's see. Let's see what we have here. What is another one? I think veggies in general, let's actually just try one of those there. Ready meals, frozen. I think in general, canned things in general I always buy my lentils canned, just also because I'm not able to cook them when I'm in school and whatsoever. Thank you. Is that from Lidl or whatever? We actually also have Lidl in Austria. Fresh milk. I wouldn't suggest milk, by the way. I don't know. I'm not drinking any dietary products. Dairy? No, it's not dietary. What the fuck? I'm not drinking any dairy products or consuming any dairy products, just because I consider them not healthy. Actually, let's actually see eggs. Because eggs are also pretty nice. You know what? Are you fucking with me? 10 eggs for 99 fucking pennies. I don't think. I would just really like to know if it is actually just 15 eggs. 100% British eggs. Well, thanks that there is no, shit shit in it. But actually 15 eggs, 1.18 pounds is actually also not that bad, isn't it? Like, I don't know. Is Austria so expensive or do I just don't know the prices there? My own fucking country. Could actually be also the case. Dried vegetables in general are relatively expensive as far as I know. Cheese. Let's see cheese. Even though I'm not consuming any cheese, yeah, it is actually also relatively expensive, to be honest. Like all those things that are actually refined or somehow processed or whatever it is, they actually are relatively expensive, to be honest. And there is also some Bavarian cheese, smoked cheese, plain, 10 slices. Do you wanna fuck me? 10 slices of cheese, like 10 slices of cheese for 1.49 bucks. Frozen food is also just pretty nice at my point of view, just because you can buy it in bulk, for example, and then just have it in your freezer, which is great. Just because you can keep it there, for just longer periods of time. When you do not have any time to, go shopping or whatever it is, then you can grab into your fridge and get something out of there, and then eat it, whatever it is, really whatever it is. No, the wrong one. There's the right one. But yeah, I think, and I really hope that this episode got you to somewhere or got you something of value, some value, whatever. I can't English today. But yeah, it was fun, As you can see by the 35 fucking minutes, I haven't been recording for such a long time, and just a really long time. Yeah, it was fun. Still, I would really like to be able to speak a little bit more fluent sometimes, to be honest, and a little bit more clear. Sometimes I kind of notice myself that I'm not the clearest speaker or communicator there is. But yeah, I think it's okay. Let's let it be what it is, guys and girls. So yeah, I wish you the best health, all happiness, and also success. And and I hope that you're going to remind yourself on how you're going to be remembered. So basically your legacy, even though, we can't actually ensure that everyone likes us or loves us or whatsoever. Some like us, some don't like us. It is what it is. I think this is how we humans actually are, but I don't know. But yeah, with that being said, I see you the next time. Stay cool, stay patient, stay doing shit, live on a budget. Yeah. I see you the next time.